Like, usually for the green card holders, it's advised that you have to come in and go out within 6 months.
Within 6 months, yeah.
Now, if it's pushing towards 6 months, maybe there may be increased scrutiny. And the last thing is social media presence. Similar social media presence, like so.
The most important thing as an immigrant in the US at the moment is to ensure that you just as much as possible, as much as you can, whether convenient or not convenient, just stay within the boundaries of the law, and that includes you educating yourself on what the law actually is, because sometimes you think that, oh, maybe this is what other people are doing, and you may not know that, okay, this is actually not the right way to do it, or that's not the right thing to do.
Then they will be calling people one by one. Bruh, your mind will explode.
Yeah. You hear that person don't put something inside your bag.
You go they think, oh boy, I bet somebody sleep something enter the bag while you were sleeping. That day I was coming in through France and I actually slept. So now that thing will just run through your mind. Say, when you just sleep. I came in with first stuff. So well, once I'm coming in, I don't do that anymore because those things can extend your stay. Can increase your scrutiny a little bit higher because they have these canine dogs that, and most of the Africans must carry fish, stockfish, dry fish, and they just try those things like from a mile away. So that was the issue I had in 2020. I brought in food stuff almost. So they said I should open my bag, open all my suitcases. I was there for a while. The dog looked at it. I said, okay, what is this? I explained, and then I was let go. Then the other time I was saying
this new very tough stance on immigration in the country. How do you guys think it affects?
Yeah, I think fear is definitely and it's so funny that even fear itself sometimes it's not real, but both the real portion of it and the unreal portion of it definitely going to be there because you also don't have all the information about everything that is happening. So people have different level of knowledge to things, and they have to sometimes rely on what they hear from other people, heard from other people. So this speaks to the fact that you have to know what is obtainable, what state you're in, what is happening, generally and specifically in your own location as well. So I think that's some of the things that someone needs to take care of for themselves.
Yeah, I definitely in a lot of ways agree with your points. The most important thing as an immigrant in the US at the moment is to ensure that you just as much as possible, as much as you can, whether convenient or not convenient, just stay within the boundaries of the law, and that includes you educating yourself on what the law actually is, because sometimes you think that, oh, maybe this is what other people are doing, and you may not know that, okay, this is actually not the right way to do it, or that's not the right thing to do. So you want to make sure that as much as possible you get yourself updated and know what the right provisions of the law are regarding every situation, in the country, because like we keep saying, you have to just keep moving correct, and you don't want to get unnecessarily, you don't want to get yourself into some unnecessary trouble. Some of the things that we're seeing as well, people with green cards facing increased scrutiny at U.S. airports, with intensified, secondary screenings and even digital device searches. And these are things that, people, like Annie said, they've been doing some of these things before, but now it's like they are now at higher pace.
Wait, I didn't get that. You are saying people people coming into the country with green card are facing what? Higher scrutiny at the airport?
Scrutiny at the U.S. airport. Yeah.
Oh.
Like you're coming with you have a green card. You're not a U.S. citizen, but as far as you have a green card, they still like search you.
But they've always done that.
Yeah, I mean they've always done that, but
Yeah.
the intensity at which that
Yeah,
is
I'm making my
now,
point. Yeah,
you
but
know,
both of you guys are correct. Yeah, in that way.
yeah. So it's the intensity at which they are, like typically I feel like with some of the materials and some articles online, showing that um these green card holders are now getting not just maybe from one point to multiple screenings. Because normally, typically, like if you're a green card holder, you should not have this level of, some very high level of screening, scrutiny when you're coming back into the country, right? But
Yeah.
now, it doesn't matter. Like you have a green card, you're a permanent resident in the country. It doesn't matter anymore. In fact, at some point they can decide for some reason to just hold you and revoke. They can even revoke your.
Yes, so I have a question. I have a question, Blessing, because I've not come in recent times. So I mean in this administration. So I'm wondering. Yeah, these things are happening. We hear the news, but the green card holders, besides maybe a bit extra scrutiny. I imagine this is probably not everybody, but are there things that they are looking out for to pick out people that, if we can find out, to pick out people that have extra scrutiny, or like you said, particularly this one, well, withdraw or their green card or something like that. Like, you understand what I'm trying to? I
Yeah.
imagine if everything is all, there should be something. There should be some signal,
I
because you
feel,
can't
I,
just.
I feel that's even that's what the what blessing is saying might be. I'm not saying it's might be true, but I also think like any you are saying it's an overstretch because do you know the amount of resources they are going to take to be able to do that
Mm.
for every single green card holder coming to the country? I think that they have set of criteria. Maybe there's a
There has
red
to be
flag
some
somewhere.
signal
Yeah,
potentially.
let's say you've had priors. All right, let's say you have,
Yeah.
you already have history of, maybe they're suspecting or these guys already have some, crime violation, already have maybe you've been indicted for one thing or the
Mm.
other. You have a current court case because I'm trying
Yeah.
to imagine if you don't have any of all these priors, the amount of scrutiny. Because I've coming through a US airport, bro, it's no joke. Do you know the people on that line? So if they want to be doing that to you are saying about multiple checks, it's gonna
Yeah.
take like 90 hours for people to
Yeah.
actually get through the airports into the country. So I would
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
like it can be
Yeah.
everybody, maybe
Yeah.
1%.
It's not everybody. It's not like everybody with green card that they stop, and I think it's just random selection. All right. One, and then two, also if there is maybe a particular person of interest, you know, like the lady we described earlier, fine, she had an F1 visa, but then she's here legally, but she stopped her because of our political ideology. That is the reason why they picked her up, right? So if you have a green card and your political ideology
Oh no, they
doesn't
didn't pick
seem
up because
to,
of her political ideology. You're talking about the
but it's
girl
not
in
because of
Georgia.
the pro-Palestinian article that she wrote that's
Are you
made
talking
us.
about the girl in Georgia or the other girl in New Jersey?
No, the
There
New Jersey
were
lady.
two examples I gave.
Are you
Oh,
Yeah,
guys sure it's New Jersey? I think you should check and confirm this thing.
is
No?
that not
yeah,
New Jersey or Boston? I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but I'm
please check
saying
and confirm so you're
there was
not
another
saying
case. I thought you were talking about the case, the undocumented lady that was stopped at the traffic. That's
no,
not
I'm
what you're
talking about
saying.
the pro,
Oh, okay,
the
okay. You're talking about the student. The Air
yeah,
Force student. Okay.
yeah. So I'm talking about the Tufts University students. In
Mm-hmm.
Boston. Actually, she's in Boston, not New Jersey. Yeah,
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
Boston. Yeah, that was. I said I know it
yeah.
was either Boston or New Jersey. Now, I also just quickly ran through what you guys were saying about the increased heightened scrutiny for green cards that are coming into the US. So the things is three guys: criminal convictions, extended stay.
Mm.
Like usually for the green card holders, is advised that you have to come in and go out within 6 months.
Within 6 months. Yeah.
Now, if it's pushing towards 6 months, maybe there may be increased scrutiny. And the last
Mm.
thing is social media uh,
Oh,
presence. Similar social media
Oh,
presence, like so. Let's say you on your accounts. You have, like you said, you come in and they feel that maybe certain things that you say is putting the country at risk. So you might think you are just having a conversation with a, or you're trying to, like you said, freely express yourself. So under this, I think what I just checked is under the administration, the three things that kind of like, make people want to look down and take a binoculars and look into you coming back into the country, even if you're a green card holder. Those three grounds: criminal conviction, extended stay, and people that are on social media that they feel that the country feels that you're saying things that's putting the country at risk in terms of security. So it can't, like I said, it can't be everybody. So if let's say they don't flag you, but before you come in, as you're running through the system, I believe they already have those things in place. And if any of
Yeah.
those things flags, then of course they are going to keep you out.
Yeah. I think, but although I haven't said that, of course there will be situations where they can just look at maybe let's check this person more. And this is also
Oh no, they do that
this
one
is also-
randomly.
this is
Whether
allowed.
you're a green card holder,
Yeah.
US citizen, or
it's part of
even
what-
F1. Yeah.
They do that as well.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I just thought. Like, man, they can't be.
I remember
sitting
when
with
I was
everybody.
coming in. I remember when I was coming in. Blessing was aware of this. Was it 2022 when I actually to come pick me up from Atlanta Airport, right?
Mm.
Yeah, you actually came, waited, and you had to leave, and it was
Yeah,
I
I
had
remember.
I had to call Flash. So I've had cases of where by the heightened scrutiny. That's why I think I might be in a position. In fact, I've had it. I would say I've had it twice. I've had one extended and one that's really funny. So let me just quickly share that story before we. So when I was coming in, this was in 2019 or 2020 before COVID. I came in with food stuff. So well, once I'm coming in, I don't do that anymore because those things can extend your stay. Can increase your scrutiny a little bit higher because they have these dogs, canine dogs that, and
Yeah.
most Africans must carry fish, stock fish, dry fish, and
Oporoko.
they display those things like from a mile away. So that was the issue I had in 2020. I brought in food stuff or more. So they said I should open my bag, open all my suitcases. I was there for a while. The dog looked at it. They said, "Okay, what is this?" I explained, and then I was let's go. Then the other time I was saying I was coming in. I don't. What happened was after I went through the first check, because then I was still a student, right? F1 went through the first check. They looked at it. Oh, okay. I had my I-20 signed. Everything was on point. I-20 signed from Georgia State and all of that. So that's when I know they have a color coding for the scrutiny. Green, blue. I've forgotten. Now I think the worst is red. Like they would, if you see them taking your passport and putting it, because they have badges. So what they see, when you see they carry, I would double check that color. I'm not sure if it's red, but I know one either is red. One is like risk 4 or something. Because I looked at that thing after I left. They will put your passport in a bag. Like the guy that is checking you the first time. After he has checked, you looked at your passport, he will tell you, my friend, okay, just stand aside. He will call somebody, because you can't leave your seat. They will call somebody else that will not take you. So they will take your passport and put it in a particular bag that has a color code. So the guy picking you will look at that color code, and that color code is going to determine how long you stay or the number of checks.
Scrutiny, how intense the scrutiny will be.
So I saw all the different color codes. So I can't remember. Mine was probably blue or green. I can't remember. So I think different risks. So they put mine in one of those colors. So they see they took.
What do you they carry come the country, bro?
I don't. I stopped to the carry food stuff, bruh, or carried anything for anybody.
But people see they carry food stuff. I don't know this one way they talk.
No, bro. See, there are certain airports that are notorious for that. Atlanta, they will stop you. New York, you might not have that problem. But I'm saying certain airports that you're coming through and you're carrying stuff from back home, they will look at it. Like so many certain airports are known for that. Atlanta has been known for that. It's not just me.
The good thing is what you're saying now is not this administration, just to clarify.
No. This is not. This was. I'm saying they do this. They do this regardless.
They have to.
It has anything to do with this current administration. I'm just saying as part of their due diligence of CBP, right? Custom and Border Patrol, you are coming in, right? Even before the administration, those color codes have always been there. I mean, I'm not saying.
No. I'm just highlighting. I know you.
Yeah.
I'm just highlighting.
So I think they will not take you just to describe that experience. This is a very we are talking about the social impacts, right? Of having screening at the airport and all of that. They'll not take you to a room that has a camera.
People
Bruh.
will look you like
Put
say, this
everybody.
guy don't
All of you
carry
now go
something.
date there. So the people when they see you,
This guy
what
don't
did
pack
happen here, brother? So as
am.
anybody admire, this guy, what's going on?
They
I
don't
had
pack
no
am.
idea. 'Cause I've never had that experience. So we took all of us to that room, said there with different color codings. I saw the different color codes. So they'll tell you, my friend, just relax, sit down. Do you need anything? Do you need water? So they have cameras there. We're going to watch your. I don't know if it's body language or whatever. So they'll put it there. You'll sit there in all of you. You have a restroom there. If you want to pee, you pee. Do anything. Then they will be calling people one by one. Bruh, your mind will want to explode.
Yeah.
You can hear that person don't put something inside your bag. You know.
You go come they think, oh boy, I bet somebody sleep something, enter the bag while you were sleeping in the airport. Oh, that day, I was coming in through France and I actually slept. So now that thing will just dey run through your mind. Say,
Yeah,
when
when
you
you
dey
sleep.
sleep, I say, God, you
You
know,
become
so
Korea,
we'll
unintended
just
Korea.
come pick. I saw a guy that I'm telling you, this is not just green card holder, please. Not green card.
Yeah, everybody.
US citizens, global with dual nationalities, green card holders, F1 visa, everybody is in that room. Because I saw guys that were like, to be honest, it had nothing to do with color. I saw white Caucasians, Mexicans, Africans, different race were there. So that's like a risk factor that just highlights in that system, just to buttress that point. So they'll come, pick you, call you, take you to a certain room, have a conversation with you. Now, if they don't take you away from that room to a different room, that's a positive sign. That's I think the guys that they usually take to a separate room are the guys with the higher risk and all of that. Now, after like maybe 20, 30 minutes of me just sitting there, the guy just called my name. I said, where are you coming from? I said, Lagos. I said, Africans always bring stuff in and all that. Let me see your bag. And I like, so I was trying to ask, like, what they say, oh, no, it's not a big deal. See, they don't look at, they've looked at screen there and there's no issue. They want to be sure that I'm not bringing anything from a different country to the US. I said, no. I said, they call look and, what is this? I said, like, you can't bring anything that's liquid. It has to be dried and all of that. I said, this is fish. Okay. I said, oh, wow, look at the cases. Okay, nice. I said, all right, okay, see ya. Gave me back my passport. But I'm saying, man, just imagine, for that 20, 40 minutes, a lot was just going through my mind. Like, bruh, what's going on now?
Yeah, and definitely, and that's, I guess that's some of the things I've been thinking about, like how somebody like you had such experience, and now it's more like a broader experience going on in the country regarding immigration, and every administration, they come in with their own policy, but one of the key things is every administration wants to protect the country. Whatever policy they are bringing in is aimed at protecting the country. Now, the style by which they are intending to apply or implement that intended purpose is now what would be different. So whatever is going on with the current administration, we all know that it's their own way by which they feel like they are trying to secure the border and protect the people within the country. Now, some people might see some of these steps as being extreme, compared to what it should be. But what I'm just thinking, now maybe as a wrap, like how does this affect immigrants? The resilience, does it make immigrants in the country more resilient or more fearful? Like does it make us like make immigrants, whether you are an international student or somebody with a green card or even a US citizen, maybe someone that was naturalized, this new very tough stance on immigration in the country. How do you guys think, it affects?
Yeah, I think, fear is definitely like, yeah, and it's so funny that even fear itself sometimes it's not real, but both the real portion of it and the unreal portion of it definitely going to be there because you also don't have all the information about everything that is happening. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, people have different level of knowledge to things, and they have to sometimes rely on what they hear about what they hear from other people, heard from other people. So they're
Yeah.
listening to interpretations. So that's one. But even when you understand what they're saying, sometimes it's directly like, wow, this is going to be a lot of stress. When you
Mm.
fully understand what it means,
Yeah.
uh, even when you are within the bounds of the law. But then I think I saw a video of this was just on some random YouTube video. Actually stopped this guy on the street. I think it might have been New York. I can't remember what it was. Whether ICE, police, whatever, they stopped him. And I don't know. In that instant, I think they didn't have. I don't know. Maybe they were just around the place looking for someone. I don't know. I don't think it was him, but they basically took him. They were with him, passing him around, trying. At the end of the day, the guy is or was originally from I think Haiti, but he's now a U.S. citizen. You see how funny that was. But in that
Mm.
instance, that stress in that moment, even when you are correct,
Mm.
there's that portion. I don't want that to be lost. There's that portion of it where even when everything that they let him go, but apparently like two of them were really nasty to this guy, like really nasty. It was on video, but he could press whatever I wanted to press, but sometimes that's not what you're looking to go through in that moment, right?
Yeah.
So imagine if this guy was not a US citizen, and you know how that can play out, even when the person is legal.
Of
So
course.
I think also generally, I think what some of the videos that I've seen, they actually have like some good info to figure out where someone that they want to catch are generally, so they are able to
So they're
just
getting intel. Yeah.
pinpoint that person and pick them. But apparently, there's also that that actual something that is noise, or maybe I don't know, maybe it's just power. Someone's this person might look like I don't know, but I'm saying like you can't rule that out. These are human beings doing this job, and the fact that was done, and I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, is this a skit? And it wasn't a skit apparently, and it was just one of the guys was really nice to the guy, and he was one that I guess maybe he knew his team members were up for something else. So he just kind of like, yeah, don't worry, just do what he said to do, just do what he was just constantly saying, just do what he tell you to do, and things like that. So the fear element and the stress, the emotional stress, yeah, that the person, and that could be traumatic too, because this person, I had this US citizen, I don't know, maybe when they got to the whatever, so they might start thinking, start doubting, things that they
Mm.
probably wouldn't have doubted before. And when you're able to establish doubt in someone, then that's huge
Yeah.
going forward for that person. So
Mm.
yeah, I think that those are some
Yeah.
of some that I can just think of in the moment.
Yeah, I mean, before we wrap up, let me just to talk a little bit about the emotional impact. Being in a stressful situation generally, whether it's ICE, USCIS, writing an exam, doing anything else. I know there are different degrees. There's always that stress component to it. Like for me, being in that room for 20, 30 plus minutes, you immediately all kind of scenario comes to your mind. All kinds of scenario,
Mm.
honestly. So, and what that does to you, like Henny said, as a human being, is apart from just the seed of doubt, it makes you begin to literally question everything per se. I will use that in quotes.
Mm.
But I think it's in two folds emotionally, right? You try as much as possible because I know I won't speak for everybody, but I think for most of the people I know that are Africans coming into the F1 through the F1 route, we try as much as possible to stay within the ambient of the law. So what I mean is we try as much as possible not to get out of status. If you need to do another program, you do another program to be sure that you're not generally out of status. And the emotional toll is really huge, especially for immigrants that don't have any support system here. Basically, 90% of the time it's just you in the country. So imagine you get picked up, you don't even have access to lawyers, you don't even have access to other kinds of resources. Being in that situation is just
Yeah.
it's crazy. In my and I've seen cases of I've heard about just these two cases. I don't know about other cases. These guys were Kenyans. This happened sometime when I was doing my PhD program. They had some issues with why they were in school, and eventually, issues with immigrations. These guys had the intention of actually staying, like let's say, come in, try to get a job, look for a pathway to be able to get a green card and stay in the country. Bruh, but after that first experience, as those boys graduate their masters, they just face Nairobi. My brother, let's just go how I noticed that about Kenya. I don't know if you guys have noticed it. As in, I've seen that trend. I've seen more Kenyans come do a program and go back.
And go back from.
I guess in their mind, Nairobi not too hard like that. Make it
go. So the guys that were close to this guy, like, oh boy, see man, see, I know that the trauma they gone through.
Yeah.
What about it, like, oh boy, for those, I don't know,
Yeah.
man, let's go house, go relax,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's part of the emotional component where you come in to chase your dream, but eventually, cases like this happen along the line, and
you go and chase it somewhere else.
And chase your dream somewhere else, so that kind of thing. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys are, you've made very, good points, and I think this has been an interesting conversation. There is much more that we can, certainly discuss. So much is going on within the immigration space. So much is going on, currently in the United States. And as immigrants, we can't say this enough. Can't say it enough. It is incumbent upon you to always ensure you get current. Make sure you know what is going on, the new policies, there are changes to the policies. Try to get educated, as much as you can. Do not stay ignorant, do not stay ignorant. Ignorance is not an excuse in law. So always make sure that, you know what is going on, and as much as possible, avoid getting arrested, by all means, whatever it is that could lead to you getting arrested, avoid it. Whenever you're in a place and things are not looking great, and it seems, man, if these things go south, I'm going to get arrested, just leave, because some of these people who they stopped, like one of the person with the green card that was stopped at the airport and was scrutinized. And the reason why they stopped her was simply this: someone that's been in the US for 50 years. She's had green card for 50 years. She's a Filipino. And they said they stopped her because of some fraud case that was tried against her maybe like 20 years ago.
I think I read that.
20 years ago. Yeah. So because of some fraud case that was on her file 20 years ago, which has been settled and cleared, she'd not even go to jail for it. I don't know what fine she paid.
Do you have any criminal conviction? And like I told you now, it's flags up in the system.
Yeah,
so that one is like no conviction, nothing, but yeah.
Yeah. So just because she was arrested, So imagine someone now, like the Nigerian guy you mentioned as well, I think in South Carolina, the reason why his visa was revoked or he had an issue was simply because of traffic violation that he had, in the past, in his record, So as much as you can, this administration is not smiling, and even...
Wait, is that not the misdemeanor?
Yeah, that's supposed to be a misdemeanor. It's not even a criminal offense.
Like, yeah, I mean...
for criminal offense.
There gotta be more. Is it just because of that?
Yeah, I was saying that. I was telling the link to the story.
I think the idea is just don't let anything that looks like, maybe even if it's a noise, don't let it minus the signal. Don't even let it. If it's possible,
your name should not.
Wait, let me understand. He got a traffic fine for speeding.
That was something that it's not even like a current thing. It's something that had happened. You understand?
I'm saying, but not. Yeah, but I'm saying for okay. But that's a civil matter. That's not a criminal case. Am I missing something?
These people are moving.
Yeah, you are missing something.
These This is a different way. Yeah, the
I
one that's
am missing something. Oh my god.
yeah, thinking, oh, it has to be like a criminal offense
No, no, no. I'm
before.
not saying. I'm not.
you-
I'm not thinking like that. I'm trying to because
Yeah.
before they give you a green card, there's a series of questions that USCIS usually asks, looking at
Mm.
your criminal history and all of that. And I think
But
for
that
me,
person was not green card though, right?
no,
That
that
person
person was
was
an F1
F1.
student.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
an F1 student.
Mm,
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's,
I mean, the point I'm making is, generally, if
oh my,
you
just be clean as a whistle.
as
Like
much as I can,
that has always helped everybody. Whether
every,
whatever you do in life,
or whatever you do in life, just be clean as a
the
whistle, bro.
if it's
clients,
possible, that has always helped everybody.
avoid getting arrested, avoid getting your name in a record because for any reason you could be sent back. If especially if you're like if you're on a non-immigrant visa, for any reason you could be sent back, and you just don't want to dash your dreams, and just cut it short, just because of some mistakes that could have been avoided. Yeah, so I think subsequently we'll be talking more about some of these issues that are going on in the US, and we would like to hear from you as well, the audience. What
Hit
are
the
what,
subscribe button.
yeah, please hit the subscribe button. We enjoy enjoying you to
Yeah,
this
like and
conversation.
share.
It helps with the algorithm and helping the video to be suggested to other people to listen and also learn and perhaps just enjoy the conversation. And your feedback is mostly needed. We want to hear from you. What do you think? What are your thoughts about the current state of immigration in the U.S.? Do you think the current administration is actually going in the right direction, or you think otherwise? What are your thoughts? Just would like to hear from you. And from me, thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful week as well.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, some of the things you said. It's important that we actually do hope you're having a great time with us. We want you to subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Share our links as well, and so that way we can bring you more better, more tailored content to what you like us to bring to you. Yeah. So thank you so much. It's usually fun, talking about some of these things, especially for me. It's just like some of the things that happen. I just be opening my mind and things that happen for you. Yeah, it's just a fascinating country overall. Sometimes when I look at it impersonally, right, how things work and how they continue to work and they continue to move along. But the key thing is you don't want to be caught in any of those things, even when you are right, even when you are 1000% right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just a stressful situation,
It
when
is.
you have to
Yeah.
go through some of those things. And continue to do your best in everything that you do, and hopefully you get to that promised land, however that looks like.
For you.
We'll be here to also help you along the way.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Yeah.
And bye bye from here.
Yeah.